January 2025 began with a deep freeze, not just from the winter storms battering the U.S., but from a wave of immigration enforcement that would leave communities shattered. Under a controversial new White House policy, ICE launched its largest coordinated raid operation in decades, targeting thousands of undocumented families. This is the story of those 72 hours and the chaos that followed.
We're headed to the target this morning. We have a few officers performing surveillance over there to make sure everything is safe, and we're ready for the arrest, the actual effectuating the arrest. We're waiting. The target estimated time to arrive on target is 6 o'clock, approximately. The reason for that is by law, we cannot knock on doors if it comes to that between 10 and 6. So we prefer to wait if we're going to stage at our residence, which most likely is it, between 10 and 6. So we're going to do it after 6, unless, of course, he comes out and we can apprehend him on the street. So yes, daily routine operations is what you see here today in the morning. The day before or days leading up to today, we identify the targets, make sure everything is kosher, everything is in place, all the checks. And then on days like today, we arrive early, we meet at the office, debrief, give the assignments, we prepare, and then we roll to the targets like we are right now. This is an extremely important mission, and the short answer is no. This mission requires cooperation across multiple law enforcement agencies within the department and local law enforcement as well.
Shaky cell phone footage of ICE agents pounding on doors, families being separated, children crying, protesters clashing with law enforcement. The 2025 election saw immigration become a central issue. The Secure Homeland Act passed in December 2024 expanded ICE's authority, allowing raids without judicial warrants in so-called sanctuary zones. Critics called it a constitutional overreach. Backed by federal courts stacked with conservative judges, the administration greenlit Operation Winter Shield, a 3-day blitz targeting 10 major cities, from New York to Los Angeles. Advanced surveillance tech, including facial recognition drones, played a key role. Kids are showing symptoms of PTSD. Parents are too scared to go to work or hospitals. This isn't just about immigration. It's a public health crisis. Over 4,000 arrests were confirmed, but the true number remains unclear. Mixed status families faced impossible choices: flee deeper into shadows or risk separation. The ICE raids of January 2025 left a permanent frost. Legal battles rage on, while families rebuild in silence. As climate disasters and global instability drive migration worldwide, America's identity crisis deepens. Will we be a nation of walls or welcome? As of 2025, over 11 million undocumented immigrants reside in the U.S. 1 in 4 children live in mixed status families.
tú abrías la puerta, si tú no puedes abrirle a nadie.
You got transport car? Hey, Lewis, your car, right? Hey, to the right over there, that corner.
The initiation of these raids can be traced back to the broader immigration enforcement strategies that began ramping up after the presidential inauguration in January 2017. The first major operation, dubbed Operation Safeguard, targeted sanctuary cities like Chicago, which are known for their policies aimed at protecting undocumented immigrants from deportation. The rationale behind these operations is often framed as a means to enhance public safety and national security by removing individuals deemed dangerous or criminal.
No más que salió así.
Ven por aquí.
Sí, ya unos
The housing of individuals detained by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is governed by a structured set of standards and policies aimed at ensuring the safety, security, and humane treatment of detainees. The facilities that house ICE detainees can be owned and operated by ICE itself, state or local entities, or private contractors. Regardless of ownership, all facilities must comply with specific detention standards that outline their responsibilities regarding the treatment of detainees. ICE is responsible for enforcing immigration laws within the United States, which includes managing deportations. Deportation flights are a critical component of this process, as they facilitate the removal of individuals who have been ordered to leave the country. These flights can transport deportees from various locations across the U.S., often departing from airports near detention facilities where individuals are held prior to their removal. The recent developments regarding deportation flights to Guantanamo Bay represent a significant shift in U.S. immigration policy under the Trump administration. The U.S. government is actively working to transform the naval base at Guantanamo Bay into a large-scale immigration detention complex, with plans to send daily flights of migrant detainees there. This initiative is part of a broader strategy aimed at addressing overcrowding in existing detention facilities and facilitating mass deportations. As of early February 2025, 2 military flights have already transported fewer than 24 migrant detainees to Guantanamo Bay, specifically targeting individuals with alleged ties to the Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua. These detainees are classified as high-threat individuals and are being held in high-security cells within the base's prison facilities. The administration's goal is to establish enough detention space for up to 30,000 migrants, which would significantly bolster its capacity for handling unauthorized migrants. The logistics of this operation are complex and fraught with challenges. One major issue has been securing sufficient personnel to supervise the detainees once they arrive at Guantanamo Bay. There have been ongoing discussions among federal agencies regarding legal custody and rights of these migrants, ultimately determining that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC, would retain legal custody over them while they await deportation. In summary, deportation flights to Guantanamo Bay mark a controversial approach by the Trump administration aimed at managing immigration enforcement through expanded detention capabilities, despite facing logistical hurdles and potential legal challenges. Reports indicate that once transferred to Guantanamo, these migrants are not managed by civilian immigration officers, but rather by military personnel. This shift represents a significant change in how immigration enforcement is typically conducted in the United States, raising concerns about due process and access to legal representation for those detained. The use of military guards instead of civilian authorities suggests a militarization of immigration enforcement, which could lead to further complications regarding the rights of detainees. Conditions at Guantanamo Bay. The conditions within Camp 6 at Guantanamo Bay have also come under scrutiny. Reports describe inadequate facilities, including broken equipment and limited staffing from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Detainees are reportedly fed military rations, known as Meals Ready to Eat, MREs, which raises additional concerns about their treatment and well-being while held in this facility. Implications for immigration policy. The decision to send migrants who have been apprehended on U.S. soil to an offshore prison marks an unprecedented approach in U.S. immigration policy. Historically, individuals detained within U.S. borders retain certain constitutional rights, including access to legal counsel and due process protections. The current situation creates a legal black hole where detainees may be deprived of these fundamental rights without clear oversight or accountability. In a significant move to bolster border security, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made his first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border since taking office. During this visit, he outlined the administration's goal of achieving 100% operational control of the southern border. This objective involves a comprehensive strategy that includes deploying additional military resources and enhancing cooperation with Mexican authorities.
It is legitimately the end of the fence. Yes. At the base of the mountain. Our big concern there is if the train stops, we don't want people crossing the barrier and getting onto the train. Okay. We keep track of the train.
Hey, which one? The K9 or especially. It's so dark. Yeah, it's so dark at night. You can't see your hand in front of your face.
Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate you being here. I can tell you this, because of President Donald Trump, this is a new era at the southern border. In foreign countries, guarding other people's borders, it's about time we secure our own border.
Thank you very much.
One last thing, I want to give a shout out to the commanders in the field who have executed rapidly and with maximum professionalism. NORTHCOM, SOUTHCOM, across the spectrum. I'm incredibly proud of the warriors we have in the Defense Department and their commitment to this mission.
Thank you very much, everyone.